Thank you. Okay. Can you see everything good? See the board? All right. So we're going to go over the sales program. Sales program is the brain of the interview. The product is the heart of the interview. Okay. So if you're, you can still be considered alive if your brain kind of dies, but the heart keeps going. But you're not really doing that well. Okay. So the products. Anyway, the only part of the interview that a person, you can lose someone, is in the sales program. Okay, you're not going to lose them in the beginning in the company or the intro section. They're here for an interview. You're not going to lose them in the products. No one's going to be like, "Hey, this product sucks, I'm leaving." You're not going to lose them in the next is the sales program. You're not going to lose them in the pay. Okay, it's like, oh, it's base pay, pays a lot of money. Then no one's going to be like, oh, and there's incentive and I can make more. And you're not going to lose them in perks. They're not going to be like, oh man, it sucks, there's trips. All right, so the only part you can really lose somebody is in the sales program, which is why that's the most important part. The first part you should learn is the product part, but that's the easiest for you to do because you already do it as a rep. But the sales program is what you want to, if you can nail the sales program, then the people feel good. Okay, so we'll do the sales program. And I'm going to read right from the notes, that way it's as close to the notes as possible. All right, so at the end of the appointment, our representatives take out what's called have the customer fill out a customer recommendation form. It looks something like this. All right, and as far as this goes, why do you think a customer, by the way, this is one I took from Michelle here. Michelle is one of our reps. She met with this lady Grace, and then Grace decided to recommend all these people to Michelle. Now, why do you think this customer felt so comfortable giving this information to our rep when they probably wouldn't do that in a store or something like that?
To help them out because they enjoyed the presentation and the person.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think Michelle did a good job?
Yeah.
Yeah, she better do a good job. That's what I pay her for. So now, if Michelle was doing like high pressure tactics or sympathy sale tactics, like, oh come on, please, lady, just buy something. I'm going to lose my job if I don't get it. If I don't get a sale today. She might get an extra sale, but do you think she's going to get any recommendations if she tries that?
No.
No, and no one's going to want a friend to go through a bad experience where they feel pressured. So that's one of the reasons. So Michelle did a good job, and what else do you think impressed Grace other than just Michelle?
Wait, what?
Other than Michelle, what else do you think impressed Grace?
Oh, the product.
Yeah, the products. And I don't know if Grace bought the product. It doesn't tell me on these papers if they buy, but I'm pretty sure she liked them. And we found that the people who don't refer us to who don't buy, like as I said, 6 to 7 out of 10 buy, but that means 3 to 4 out of 10 don't buy. But we found the 3 to 4 that don't buy still refer us to the same amount of people as the ones who do buy. And it's kind of funny, people who don't buy, they're like, oh man, money's kind of tight for me right now, maybe next month, can we get your card or something like that? But the next thing out of their mouth is like, but you have to show us to my sister-in-law, she will buy everything for me. And so that's just kind of how it goes. By the way, you're not allowed to buy anything today, but even if I don't offer you work, are you going to go home and tell somebody something about Cutco products? After seeing them.
Yeah.
And that's just what happens. And the same thing happens with all of our customers. As we show in the product, they have people who pop in their head who are like, oh my gosh, I know someone who fishes or gardens or cooks a lot or something like that. So word of mouth advertising is what's called word of mouth advertising. Word of mouth advertising is the most believable form of advertising, which is why it's the only form of advertising that we use. But not only is it very believable, but how much do these recommendations cost our company?
Nothing.
Zero. So we know that. See, we know we have amazing products. The two reasons why we get recommended is the products and the people. We know the products are always amazing. We've designed them to be better than anything else. The X factor is our people, and that's why we need to have excellent reps because again, that's how our company continues going. And so that's what I look for in these interviews. So let me show you how we use this information. So we have Grace. Grace is the customer. She is happy. She got to meet with Michelle. And then she gave Michelle a bunch of recommendations. Now, in our training program, what we'll do is we'll teach Michelle how to follow up with these new people that she's been referred to. Now, why do you think we want Michelle following up with these people as opposed to hiring like a telemarketing staff or somebody else calling the customers for her?
It's a little more personal. It's rather than just going, hi, I'd like to, here's our company, it's more direct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely direct, personal, which there's a little bit of trust when people give us these recommendations. Yeah, and Grace doesn't want everyone in Vector Marketing Corporation calling her friends. She met with Michelle, that's the person she referred. So we teach Michelle how to follow up. Now, our representatives either do their appointments over the phone, where they guide their customer through a PowerPoint presentation, where they can watch videos and they can see everything that you just saw here today on our company website. Or if the clients are local, reps want to work with them face-to-face right in their own homes. So we teach our reps how to do the presentations either way. The representatives would pick which one they feel more comfortable with, and they work from there. Now, by the way, Michelle lives over in Comac. So let's say originally she set up an appointment with Grace because she saw that Grace also lived in Comac. Well, where do you think most of these recommendations end up living then?
Comac.
Yeah, usually Comac or Smithtown, somewhere in that local area. So what our reps do, like though, is that they're in control of who they are contacting and who they don't. So if a rep is referred to someone who lives out of town, they can set up an appointment with them, but instead of meeting with them face to face, they'll just set up a phone appointment and go do it over the computer with the videos from the company website. But when the reps are local, well, how do you think Michelle is treated by these new clients when she's an invited guest to sit at their kitchen table and show them our presentation?
She's welcomed.
Yeah, sure, pretty well. Our reps don't get doors slammed in their face. Once they have an appointment on the phone, they don't get phones hung up on them because the person set up the appointment. So the way we designed our program is it works for all three parties involved. It makes all of them comfortable. The original customer feels comfortable referring people to our rep because they know the people they're referring are going to see the same rep, get the same service. And as long as they like their rep and they like the products, which they always do, they don't mind referring people. It makes these people feel comfortable because they're not just being randomly called out of the phone book. Our reps aren't going door to door with knives, like, hey, can I come in? I don't know how that would work. And it makes Michelle feel comfortable with these people because she's already met with their friend, she's qualified her recommendations, and she's dealing with married middle-aged couples that live in her neighborhood, or she's dealing with people over the phone. So that treat her pretty well. Now, as far as appointments go, the minimum number of appointments we ask a representative to do each week is 10. And I'll use that as the example. Obviously, we have reps. Do you think we would ever limit reps for doing appointments?
No.
No. Obviously, the more appointments they do, the more people they show the product to, the more likely they are to make a sale. So they can do as many as they like, but 10 is a minimum. Now, we found at the end of each appointment, our representatives will average anywhere between 5 to 10 recommendations. Now, some of these people, it's an average. Some of these people, every person doesn't give 5 to 10. Some might give 1 or 2. Sometimes we'll sit down with someone they don't know anybody. They're like, I don't know anybody. That's sad, but they don't know anybody. However, sometimes we'll sit down with people and they'll be like the PTA mom or the church lady who knows everyone, or they'll own a business and they'll print out all their clientele, and and we'll get 20, 30, 40, 50 recommendations. Our record right now is David. David got 823 recommendations on one appointment. That is not normal, by the way. He did a phone presentation with a superintendent of a school district, and the superintendent emailed him like all the teachers and administrators in the entire district. So, not normal. This is normal. So 5 to 10 is normal. And with people's cell phones nowadays, how long do you think it takes them to come up with 5 to 10 names and phone numbers?
Less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, usually it takes a couple minutes on their phone and they're done. Now, so at the end of the week, this rep that's just doing 10 appointments a week will have anywhere from 50 to 100 recommendations that they can now follow up with. Now, the reps aren't going to set up appointments with all of these people. Some of these people won't be the right types of people. They won't be like the married middle-aged couple who buy these types of things. They won't. Their schedules just won't mesh up with the rep. The rep, might work at different times that the customer is available. Some of these people are just never able to get on the phone. We just can't get them. So we found that our representatives are typically able to set up appointments with half of the people that they're recommended to being referred from a friend. But you give them anywhere from 25 to 50 more appointments to do. Now, this rep only does 10 appointments a week. So they wouldn't up their number of appointments each week. This would just take them 2.5 to 5 weeks to complete. But while they're doing all these appointments, they're going to end up getting, obviously they'll get some sales, they're going to get more experience, and they're going to get better at the presentation. But what else are they going to get from these people?
Recommendations.
Yeah, they're going to do the same presentation. So with another 5 to 10 new recommendations, that'll give them anywhere from 125 on the low end to 500 recommendations on the high end. And I'm not going to keep going. Hopefully you get the point. Our reps don't run out of work. And one of the things that our company takes a lot of pride in is that we don't let people go because of lack of work. And so, and by the way, I'm only using a 10 appointment schedule. That's our minimum number. A lot of representatives on their winter breaks or summer breaks, they don't have any school or anything else to do. They'll do 20, 30 appointments a week, and that just adds up to more and more recommendations. So, cool. By the way, while the reps are doing all these appointments, what kind of skills do you think they're developing?
Time management.
Definitely.
Learning people skills by meeting with people, both new and people you know.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people skills, networking skills, communication skills. By the way, what's the only way people can actually learn those skills?
Doing it.
Yeah, people can't read a book about communication and go, well, now I know how to talk. It doesn't really work that way. But as you mentioned, though, there also is time management skills. And with our schedules, the appointments take anywhere from a half hour to an hour. So we teach our reps to set up their appointments an hour and a half apart. So this way they have time in between. There's one missing here. So that way they can set up their appointments and they'll have time in between. There it is. Okay. So I'll go through some schedules, do them up here. So normally I would do them down here for the applicants. So this is a schedule, a typical schedule. The first thing we have our reps do is block off anything that they have to do throughout the week. And then I don't really care what they're doing when they're not working. All I care about these little A's. The A's stand for availabilities. And then you'll see they'll put in some times to make some phone calls. And then when they make their calls, they'll offer the times that are available to the schedule. When one of the customers says yes to the time, they write the person's name in. When they fill up all their A's, then they're done. Then they don't have to call anybody else. So this is Megan. Megan just works on the weekends with us. She'll have class during the week. And she'll do 5 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday. And that's how she gets her 10 appointments done each week. This is Bracha. Bracha's one of our more full-timers. She has about 20 appointments a week. She'll do 4 each day, Monday through Thursday in the middle of the day. She does a little phone time in the evening, a little phone time in the morning. And then on Sunday she'll do appointments with people she couldn't catch during the week. Middle of the day, she'll live with a lot of housewives. That's who's home in the middle of the day. By the way, I guess who the housewives will refer.
More housewives.
More housewives, yeah. That's what they know. So, Friday she takes off Saturdays or Sabbaths. She doesn't work on Saturdays.
Ah, sounds familiar.
So, and then this is Brianna Brione. Now, Brianna, this is from the summertime. You'll see she has R&R, that's rest and relaxation, just means she would sleep until like 12. And then she would do appointments in the afternoons and evenings. Now, I do show the schedule because you see here she wrote family obligations. That family obligation, that week she had a family reunion that had come up, and she wanted to go to her family reunion, so we said fine. Now, the next week, though, she didn't have a family reunion. So guess what she wanted to do on Friday and Saturday?
More appointments.
Yeah, do appointments. Do you think, again, we had any problem with her doing more appointments the following week?
No.
No. I've never called my team and said, hey, guys, we've sold too much. I need all of you to stop, and we're selling too much. And so that's never happened. So the schedule that the reps give to us is their bare bones schedule. That's what we expect them to do. They're always welcome to do more appointments. If something canceled or she didn't want, maybe she woke up early and she wanted to do extra appointments, we have no problem with reps doing more. We just expect them to do what they said they're going to do. Here's Patrick. Now with Patrick here, Patrick, when he started working with us, he had a lot of time. He was working with us in the summertime, so he did a lot of appointments each week. However, when school came around, he goes to school at Suffolk Community, and he couldn't do that kind of schedule anymore. But he wanted to really do well in school, and he was on the volunteer fireman, he's on the basketball team, he's also on a soccer team, so he got a lot of stuff going on. So we put everything into his schedule, and he still had a time to do 5 appointments on a Friday, 4 on a Saturday, and 1 on a Sunday after church there. And so by the way, making a schedule like this, I don't make my reps make schedules like this, but time management was important to Pat because he had so much stuff to do. Do you think this helped him, with school and all the other things that he had to do in his life as well?
Definitely.
Yeah, and he never made a schedule like this until I made him make a schedule like that. So As far as reps go, we don't care when the reps do appointments or when they do work. We just care that they do the work and that they follow a schedule that they made for us at the beginning of the week. So we have reps that work here morning, days, evenings, weekends, part-time, full-time. Again, as long as they get done what they said they're going to get done, that's what we do. So let me go over how our reps get started. And our representatives all start in our training program. Training is broken up into 3 different parts. First part of training, what you should be writing down, by the way, is when I write this, and what you do is start putting in your notes, like when later on in the future when you have paper notes. Put down like when you write this stuff on the board. But training is broken up into 3 different parts. The first part is a 2-session orientation program that we do here in the office. And during the orientation program, our reps come in. We go over we obviously teach them a presentation. We give them an outline of the presentation. They do a lot of role playing, and we teach them things like customer psychology, pricing, how to explain prices, how to schedule appointments, make a schedule, overall presentation skills, time management skills, and that's really what the orientation is about. Now, at the end of the orientation, we give our representatives a $350 free loaner set of our products so that they can use while they're working with us. Now, our reps really like that. Besides using the products for presentations, guess what else you use the products for?
For themselves.
Yeah, they just use them, or they're good. So a lot of people use them at home. And we want our reps to use their products. Obviously, the more they're using the products in their own home and playing with them, the more conviction they're going to have on how good our products are, and they can convey that to their customers. So now, we use orientation to continue as a continuation of our interview process before we give the reps this free loaner set. For example, when people come in to apply here, if I asked all of you right now, would you consider yourselves hardworking people? Guess what every one of you would say?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody could say that. However, in orientation, I get to know who is a hardworking person and are actually going to do the work that we're asking them to do. So because orientation is a part of the interview process, we do not pay for these 2 sessions. We want to make sure people are really serious before we start giving them money and our products. However, the second part of training we do pay for, and we call this the PTA, or the paid training appointments. And over the next 2 days, our reps will do anywhere from 4 to 10 or more. They can do as many as they want. Practice or training appointments. Now, they're allowed to do the training appointments with anyone that they want. But who do you think they typically choose to do like their first couple ones for?
Their family.
Some family, sometimes a friend or neighbor or something like that. Why do you think they choose those people as opposed to like a complete stranger the first time?
They're closest with them, so if they screw up, it's just their family to judge, not others.
Yeah, it's not really a big deal. As far as that goes, it's a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more relaxed. I know if I would have done my first one for a complete stranger, I probably would have cried, like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. So point being is, it just makes it a lot easier. Now reps can do training appointments with anyone, as I said, they feel comfortable with, and since they're paid for these training appointments, well, guess how many training appointments they try to do then?
As many as they can.
Yes, and they're going to get paid for it anyway. So our reps that are not from the area will do training, who don't live here and don't know a lot of people in the area. They'll do a lot of like the phone presentations or phone appointments with people wherever they live, back home. Some of our reps don't have cars, so they'll do a couple of face-to-face, like their family or a neighbor or something, or close friends who live right in the neighborhood, and just walk to them or something like that. And then they'll do all the rest of their appointments with their friends or something like that over the phone. They'll do phone appointments there. And our reps who grew up locally have cars, have no problems with that, and just know a lot of people. They usually do a lot of face-to-face appointments. And then like a family member who lives far away, they'll do a phone appointment or 2 to practice there. So a rep who does 10 practice appointments, by the way, or 10 training appointments, will make a minimum of $142.50 in the first 2 days just on our base pay program. And I'm going to explain a bonus program or incentive program in a little bit where a lot of reps make even more than that. So also by our reps seeing people that they know in the beginning, it starts building out their clientele base. no matter how good our products are, do you think, what percentage of people do you think sit around at home and say, you know what, our knives are really bad. We need to research really good knives.
Maybe 5 to 10%.
Right, they're a low amount. People. Our job as a marketing company is to let everyone in America know that Cutco exists. However, nobody calls our office looking for a knife presentation. That doesn't work. However, once people see Cutco, and once we build through these recommendations, they see Cutco, 60 to 70% of people buy it, and 100% of the people like it, and like to see it. So, so our reps, some of our reps just do a couple people that they know. They'll do like the 4 to 10, and then they'll move right to recommendations right away. Some of our reps know everyone in the neighborhood, and they're big in their church, or they're on sports teams, or that kind of stuff. And they know a lot of people, and they'll see a lot of people that they know. To our company, by the way, is there any difference between someone our reps know and a recommendation?
Not really.
No. To us, it's just someone who eats, a potential customer. It's only training because the rep knows them. So. So we just want everyone in America to know that Cutco exists and decide for themselves if they like to buy it. And the more people our reps show, the more sales that occur. Now, the last part of training is advanced training. Advanced training takes 2.5 hours. And during bless you. And during advanced training, we say, well, how'd it go? And at that point, we give them some additional advice. Usually reps are done with people that they know really well at that point, so now they're going to be starting moving into people that they don't know and seeing those people. And, bless you again.
Thank you.
And that's really training. Now after advanced training, we don't tell them good luck, and we'll see you. For the first 2 weeks, our reps call in after each appointment that they do, and they also pick a couple of times during the week where they'll come into the office to do their phone time or make their phone calls. Orientation is not designed to teach reps to be the knife salesperson of the world. It's really designed to teach reps how to do the basic presentation, and then they get better the more and more they practice and do the training presentations. So for the first 2 weeks, we want to talk to our reps as much as possible to teach them how to handle customer questions and issues and all that kind of stuff. We can't teach them everything in two short sessions. So now after the 2 weeks, the representatives, for the first 2 weeks they call after each appointment. After the 2 weeks they call just at the end of the day. On the days that they're working, they'll call in for something we call PDI, which is personal daily interaction. So they'll call in and let us know how their day went. Also, reps stop in twice a week for our meetings. One of the meetings is a one-on-one meeting where we make a schedule and for the upcoming week, and we go over their personal results and see what they can improve. The other meeting is a team meeting, and during the team meeting, we recognize people for their work. We teach advanced communication techniques. We usually have the top person give a talk for the week. Here's what I'm doing, and here's how I did it. We go over any sales or specials that are going on. And also reps can sign up for field trainings. If they want to go see someone do a presentation, they can do that. And after the meeting, typically we'll go to Dave & Buster's or something, figure that out, and have a good time. So the ongoing training is definitely a perk of the position. So I'm going to wrap up here with pay and perks. What was that? What was that? 23 minutes left.